Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Cal Royal number TBHRC-44. This is a 4x4, quarter-inch radius, full mortise, standard weight, plain bearing hinge from Cal Royal, shown in the US 15 or satin nickel finish. Okay, very common sort of hinge. TBH is code for a standard weight plain bearing hinge from Cal Royal. The RC means that you're going to have a quarter-inch radius corner. The -44 is a reference to the size. Well, the entire part number kind of conspires to be the size with Cal Royal. Okay, so let's dissect it. It's obviously plain bearing. There are no bearing packets, and it's a 5-knuckle hinge. Okay, the RC, quarter-inch radius corner. Now, where you're going to get a quarter-inch radius corner is going to be very typically when the door manufacturer or the carpenter, whomever was originally building the door and frame, used the router to create the preparation in the door and frame for the hinge. They used a 1/2-inch diameter 2-flute carbide router bit and did not go back and square out the corners on the hinge prep. That's where the quarter-inch radius. Same logic with a 5/8 radius. They're using a much larger 1.25-inch diameter router bit. The machine can make less when you've got an 1.25-inch diameter router bit. It is faster work. So now the 4x4, that's a reference to the size. This hinge is 4-inch tall, and the height is the first dimension on hinges like this, and 4-inch wide. Now the fact that the height is the first dimension is important to know. Perhaps not necessarily on a square hinge, but if you had a rectangular hinge like a 5x4.5 or a 4x3.5, it's really important to know that this is that first dimension. Okay, full mortise. You can see when the leaves, based on the swag on the hinge leaves, that when the leaves are brought parallel, they're meant to be mortised flush to the edge of the door and the frame. Standard weight on a 4x4, that's 129 thousandths, 130 thousandths leaf thickness, okay, versus residential weight, which would be closer to about 97 thousandths of an inch. Plain bearing, that's obvious. Steel base, that's important to know. That's certainly a steel-based hinge. And this is, again, in the US 15 satin nickel finish. That means that it'll be a satin nickel plated, brushed finish, and has a clear lacquer over it, which is common for hinges like this. And you can see the Cal Royal logo that's there. Available in all of the common finishes, your brasses, your bronze, your chromes, oil rubbed, stainless steel as well, Cal Royal can do. Looking at the extended description below this video, you've got much of practically everything we've already gone over. Steel, gauge, quarter-inch radius, 5-knuckle plain bearing, number of holes 8, and screws are included in a complementary finish, wood screws and machine screws for this. This is what's considered a template pattern. There's a link to a document called Template, which is a technical drawing of the hinge where you can review the exact locations of the screw holes, which is important to know if you want to be sure beyond doubt that this hinge will fit an existing preparation when you receive it. By all means, refer to the document called Template. But there are hinges that are template pattern, like this. Some people will call it a half moon or semicircle. And then there are non-template patterns, which are commonly referred to as the zigzag pattern. And of those, there are several different patterns. But this is what we call template, and will look like this, and will have those exact dimensional properties for the holes of the screws per the link below this video to that document called Template. Okay. This is a button tip hinge that looks like it gets the name from like a button on your coat. You can do different types of decorative tips on these hinges. Typically ball or steeple tip is available, and then some other options that you might be interested in, such as ball bearing or security pin, are available. Now, the name Cal Royal is synonymous with very good, quite excellent quality builder's hardware. Also, lock sets, exit devices, door closers, a comprehensive offering of hinges. There's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Cal Royal products that we sell, but a link to the manufacturer's website, along with a link to the current product catalog. The important thing to know about Cal Royal is this. They have exceptional customer service. They have prompt, predictable, and reliable shipping lead times. They have an ever-growing, ever-expanding, ever-improving product line, and they've got excellent quality and excellent value is the bottom line. If you are a subcontractor that might install doors for a GC, or maybe you run into doors, you might be a small handyman outfit and you maintain condo buildings, let's say, you're going to want to look at Cal Royal for closers, door closers, exit devices, and lock sets as well. If you have any questions on the Cal Royal TBHRC-44 plain bearing, 1/4 inch radius 4x4 hinge, or any other Cal Royal product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.